Hey folks, Doc Coleman here again. I made a little video about moving the neck and why you don't want to like adjust your own neck. Well, I just kind of wanted to go a little bit further into that. I had said that sometimes the neck can become what they call into a degenerated state if you're always doing that. And I want to explain why. It's important. A lot of people will ask why, and I want to let you know why. So what I want you to understand is that no matter what area of your spine, if this is your spine and you hurt an area, it doesn't matter how. It can be a car accident, it can be falling off a horse, it could be anything. But if you injure an area of your spine, just like any other area of your body where the bone joints come together, when you injure those areas, they become inflamed. And it's a natural process to try and fix the area. But the problem is that if we don't control how much inflammation occurs, we can have a problem. It can become a chronic situation. And when you have a chronic inflammation situation, it's bad news. Because, well, let me help you understand that. I'm just going to show you just a little rendition, okay, of a joint. Now, if you think this is bone, the orange stuff is the cartilage, the blue stuff is the synovial fluid, and the green on the outside is the joint capsule. Well, inside right here by the joints, by the cartilage, is chondrocytes. Chondrocytes are responsible for making the cartilage and keeping it in good shape because they continue to make it all through your life. Now, when we have higher levels of inflammation, it starts to hurt the chondrocytes. The chondrocytes can actually be killed off over a long period of time if high levels of inflammation stay in there. That's the disadvantage to having a high pain tolerance. People think that high pain tolerance is a good thing when you're having a baby, maybe, but not when you're not on a chronic basis, because what it will do is it will not tell you that you have a problem. Okay? When people have a sprained area, you want to be icing it. You want to be able to take care of it. You want to be able to drop that inflammation if possible. And that's why some medical doctors will give you anti-inflammatories, because they know through their studies that chronic inflammation kills off chondrocytes and it makes your joints prematurely old. See, textbook normal on this side, and down at the bottom, this is phase 1 subluxation degeneration. When the bones are out of alignment, that bottom one can become inflamed. And when it's chronically inflamed, do you see the osteophytes? The body, just like an oyster, the body will respond and lay calcium down in those areas that it thinks it needs to fix, because that's all the body can do. It's not a surgeon, but what it can do is it can try to thicken the tissue, and it can try to lay calcium down there to try to strengthen it and to try and fuse it up. The body will fuse it. And it's just a natural reaction to chronic inflammation. And that's what happens. And if you don't treat it properly, it can go this way. This is a nasty state of affairs. So what we want to be able to do is we want to be able to, with an area that's been hurt, there's an old mnemonic. It's rest it, ice it, and put compression on it and elevate it. That was, usually for an athletic injury. I used to be a trainer a long time ago. But what I want you to know is that icing is very important no matter where the inflammation is. You want to be able to drop that inflammation. And you want to be able to try and not re-injure it. So many people will go back into activities before they're ready. But what I want you to know is that those areas of chronic inflammation, when the chondrocytes start to die off, they quit making good cartilage, and then they just quit making cartilage. Okay? And when you have bone on bone, that's a bad situation. And we never want you to ever get there, because that's just hell. You're always taking medication. Many times people if it's a knee, they have to go in for a knee replacement, hip replacement. If I, as a chiropractor, can adjust the spine, if it's in the spine, and if it's an area that has been injured, and if we can drop the inflammation, but we can remove, like we can continue to move, reestablish movement in that joint segment. As you reestablish movement and as you ice it and you keep that process going, what can happen is you can reestablish proper function in that joint. And then the cells make more cartilage, they make better cartilage, and then you're off to the races. But you have to be able to treat it correctly. So if you know you have a high pain tolerance, don't play with your neck. And I would say never really play with your own neck. Never try to manipulate your own neck, because you're really not moving the correct one. It's all a fallacy. So what I would say is, when in doubt, go see a chiropractor. Go see a proper expert, a professional. Always trust the professionals. I understand that a lot of times people are, they want to get some relief, but in the end, you need to be able to keep those moving, because there's a lot at stake as far as your joints go, because you don't get another spine. Have a great day. Remember, Santa says, have a great one. Take care.